Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Wendy's dead wrong for this. Fast food worker shows Wendy's overrun with DoorDash orders. So for various reasons on various platforms, there are a good amount of times where restaurants, fast food, fast casual, whatever, end up overrun with orders on DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub. And because of that, they have to turn it down and make sure that they're not losing money because they're so backed up they cannot fulfill orders. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for gig workers and customers on the respective platforms, DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A video uploaded to TikTok from a Wendy's employee shows a hectic scene behind the counter at one of the franchisees' restaurants, along with throngs of completed mobile orders strewn about that have yet to be picked up. One employee can be heard saying, "I'm sick of this S," right before the 7-second clip finishes. I don't know if that is the person making the video or just another employee just getting caught at the worst time. But that's a reality of a fast food worker today in 2023, is where you got so backed up between customers in the drive-thru, customers in front of you at the counter, customers from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. Not to mention, some of those people may be DoorDashers and some of them are just a little pain in the ass, while some are respectful but are seen as pain in the ass. So because of that, they are treated in the same way as the Dirty Dasher, which is just wrong, but it is what it is. Vinnadee's at Vinnadee clip has amassed over 63,000 likes on the platform and spurred a conversation on the high-stressed nature of working in the fast food industry as an hourly employee for relatively little pay. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Honestly, I'm at the point in my life to where I'm wondering, why do you even work in the fast food industry anymore? Not only have they reached a point where everything can be just automated now, they barely even need people, but it's to the point where you have hourly employees grossly underpaid, overworked, and undervalued. It's to the point where you could work literally hundreds of hours of overtime and not even be able to get ahead. It's disgusting. Whereas you could put in a third of the amount of effort and make so much more money on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. No wonder why they're upset about us, because they're being grossly underpaid. And here we are working our butts off. I'm not saying that we're not working our butts off, but if you want to compare and contrast, the fast food worker is being milked to levels that we're just not being milked. Is it his or her choice at the end of the day to be put in that position? Sure, but there's also the point that we gotta actually do a better job in paying fast food workers better, even if the management is never gonna do that. This isn't the first footage of a fast food location overrun with app delivery and online orders, which some speculated was a result of non-tipping customers. Non-tipping customers are probably the greatest causality in orders being on the shelf and not being picked up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is the fault of the driver. That means it is the fault of the customers not tipping, because drivers shouldn't be picking up orders that say $2.50 for $10. But on the flip side of that, if the volume is actually there, that's not the fault of non-tipping customers. That's the fault of Wendy's being overran with customers. One commenter chastised the Wendy's store for not managing the flow of orders properly or providing the location with enough staff to be able to accommodate so many orders. Wendy's is dead wrong for this. Did they give y'all a warning about the promotion and provide more staff? That's right, there's a biggie bag promotion, but the problem with the biggie bag promotion is that it actually costs more than a previous promotion that they had, which was 4 for $4. But their promotion promoting it as a biggie bag, which I don't know how that kind of marketing ended up winning over people at the end of the day, because that's sad that happens. With the promotion and everything like that, there's only so much you could do as a manager. Like, if people call out, it's not like you can do much about that. If you book too many people and everyone shows up, that's too much labor. And not to mention, let's say somebody calls out and you try calling somebody in and they're not picking up, there's a good reason for that. So it's not necessarily the manager's fault. Should the manager have been better at their job? Sure, but again, I don't think that's gonna actually be the case. Someone else simply said, I'd quit LMFAO. I don't even blame you. I would have quit too. Another TikTok user thought it was unfair that Wendy's employees aren't compensated extra for completing DoorDash orders that are picked up by delivery drivers. This is crazy because the workers get 0 of the DoorDash tip. Okay, first off, you shouldn't be gaining any of the tip from the work that we do. That's just not how it works. The problem is that Wendy's employees don't realize they're paid for their time, not the amount of work they're putting in during that time. That's what they committed to. That's why you see so many quiet quitters putting in the bare minimum, and that's it. That's why I say, if you want to make more money, start a side hustle. Pick up DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub. Do something that's not going to be based on you having to commit time to it. Granted, DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub are similar because you still have to commit time to that as well, but the faster we do our work, the more money we get paid. For a lot of people, DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub are an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. So if you got a problem with not making enough money at Wendy's and they refuse to pay you more, start working on something that will be independent from your activity. There were some folks who speculated that the reason for the large pileup of orders was due to folks placing orders through food delivery applications and not pre-tipping on said orders, so delivery drivers don't necessarily feel compelled to pick up these orders. It's the fact that a lot of people got their food for like $1 and still ain't tip, and they wonder why the food never gets picked up. First off, I don't think anything costs $1 anymore. Let's just get that fact straight. But these apps, and this is personal opinion of mine, obviously, you are free to order whatever you want, but these apps are really not for orders that are cheap. This is a luxury service. If you're gonna use the platforms at all, they should be worth it for you. Paying the premium cost for a Wendy's order just doesn't make sense. However, judging from the comments section, it would appear that the reason for this particular mass pileup at the Wendy's location was due to a biggie bag promotion held by the chain and DoorDash, which stated that orders placed of at least $12 would result in up to $30 off on the DoorDash app, meaning that customers could use up to $30 of free Wendy's food as long as they use the biggie promotion code. I gotta be that guy for a second. Isn't this exactly what Grubhub did not too long ago in New York City, where they basically gave everybody a free lunch, and because of that, everybody ended up ordering en masse. The tickets were so backed up that people couldn't fulfill the orders, and Grubhub is still paying people back, or claiming they're paying people back, and people lost a lot of money that day as restaurants. And now Wendy's did it on a national scale. What is that? You did that to yourself. Everybody was bashing on Grubhub for doing that. Now DoorDash did it, and no one is saying anything. My gosh. One TikTok user said that they worked at Wendy's and they weren't given proper notice beforehand that the promotion was occurring. Yes, I work at Wendy's. They didn't tell us anything Thursday either. Yeah, I don't think they would tell you that either, and I'm gonna be honest about this. If I was a manager and I got a heads up about that, and my employees got a heads up about that, right? I would be calling out of work. I would be planning to call out of work. And especially if my employees hated me as a manager, oh, that is frightening, man. You know you're gonna be backed up because of that. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. Then you pay me. There you go. As much as Wendy's as a corporation is 100% wrong for not notifying their employees, it's not like it was a good idea to notify them anyway because they're going to call out knowing that it's going to be a nightmare to go in. That's number one. And number two, let's say you're a DoorDash driver. Yeah, there's a lot of them that will probably be no-tip customers. But on the flip side of that, do you think that drivers are going to want to pick up these orders knowing that that's what the inside and outside of a Wendy's is going to look like? Lines out the door, the wait room backed up to all hell. They know that they're not going to be gaining good money from those orders. There are exceptions to the rule, of course, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near that either. I don't care how much they're paying me. If it takes me an hour to complete a $10 order, then I made $10 during that hour. That's ridiculous. I would dodge that place like the plague. It's a little harder because it's such a popular franchise and they're on like every main road, but still. However, I do think the main problem with all of this is that DoorDash pulled the same thing that Grubhub pulled on a national scale, and no one is talking about it. This happened in like the end of March. How is no one saying anything about it? Was I just not paying attention? Was I just not there? What's going on? I mean, I guess that everything turned out the best it could, but between DoorDash the corporation, Wendy's the corporation, they were 100% wrong. The employees are minimum wage workers. They probably wouldn't overwork themselves to exhaustion either, and there's only so much the manager could do. This was just a really bad idea gone even worse because it went on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!